chopper on the block. Block, block. Coming through so proper. Block, we make it pop.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ag Brigade podcast, formerly known as the Tiz Talk podcast. Got a special guest on the show this morning. We're actually running one in the morning. I think this is the first time I've ever done this before. Ran one in the fucking morning. Got my man, Money Man Sid, in the house. What's up, Money Man? How you doing?
Nothing much. It's 10 a.m. It isn't even morning anymore. It's almost the afternoon.
I'm just saying that we typically do these at night. I don't think I've ever
Market
done.
opens at 8:30.
I'm talking about a podcast here, not trading. Okay, so like
I know. I'm just giving you crap.
I know you are. I know exactly what you're doing. But anyways, yeah. So this is gonna be an interesting show. It's gonna be something a little different. We'll do market stuff and all that as well, but this is gonna be a little bit more involved with. I don't know. How would you say it, Sid?
This is the retail-driven information
Of
sales in general and the situation
of
that
sales
Intel
in
is in.
general of what? But hold on, be
Uh,
more specific.
so this is going to be a conversation about GPU sales, specifically the market around GPUs for the gaming industry as a whole.
There you go. There you go. The GPU Smackdown. Frames and gains. That's probably what we're going to call this episode anyway.
That's hilarious.
Okay, cool. So I'll let you kind of start off by first of all. Well, actually, I'll start off real quick, just to give everybody a understanding as to how Sid and I even know each other. I met Money Man over here in Florida in 2022 for doing some work, some like restoration, commercial restoration work for insurance proceeds after that big Hurricane Ian that hit Fort Myers area. And he was doing public adjusting, and that's how we met. And he was the money man for us as the contract salesman. And we did some deals together, kind of got a little crazy on some of them. And I kind of said, fuck it. I'm done with this industry. And so I left Florida. But yeah, so that's how we met. And now Sid started his own company doing the same thing, just not working for the company that he was working for before. Right? Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing pretty well. And then actually he's gotten into the whole, he's now part of the Bag Brigade. He's gotten involved with the community, taking trade alerts and all that, and doing pretty well. We actually just hit a little lick on a SPY put that we swung from yesterday. Had we not sold it right at open and made it, we made 150%. We could have made about 700%, but the contract.
Bulls and bears, man. Bulls and
The
bears.
contract expired today. I mean, you gotta take it. You never know what's gonna happen, right? So
Yeah. Who expects SPY to move 10% in a day?
well, no, SPY to move 10% a day. First of all, that doesn't happen. First of all, if SPY hits 7% in a day, the circuit breakers kick in and it stops trading for 15 minutes. And then
who expects it to move as violently as
I
moved
mean
today?
I think that's probably only happened like once. And
It's down. I guess that's only 1%.
yeah,
Math.
for SPY to go
Grew up in
10%.
Oklahoma.
Look, let's just put it this way: in June. In August of 2024, the Japanese yen carry trade fiasco, the Nasdaq almost hit 7% down. It was like 6.9, and then if it would have hit 7%, they would have pulled the circuit breakers and stopped trading. SPY was down, I think, like I don't know, like 5, but still, that's massive. So 10% is
Who expects it to move $8 in a day? That seems like a lot.
Oh, it would. That'll move. That's not normal, but that happens more often than you think.
Yeah, like we made the decision on the information that it's probably not going to go down much further, and then it went.
Well, let's actually, where is it right now? Let's see. I'm gonna
It's
just
like
flip my screen real quick just to say, okay, there it is on the 15-minute.
592, so it's sitting
Um,
almost 593.
yeah, it's at 592.82. Um, yeah, I mean, I thought it was gonna bounce off that pivot level I was showing you, but it looks like that
It
didn't
still
work.
might.
And it's below it now, but it is what it is. I'm done trading for the day. So anyway, all right. So let's. I know we tried to do this the other night, and the volumes were all sorts of screwed up. So let's.
Well, to be
Let
fair, we weren't expecting to do a podcast.
Well, we weren't, and we also kind of started recording it in the middle, like of it. You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't really a full on thing anyway. But why don't you go ahead and kind of explain what we were doing the other night, and just let's just start with that.
Okay,
I'm gonna put your
so
screen. I'm gonna
some,
put your screen up. There we go.
all right. So important here is that Intel has no market share, zero. Currently, as of Q2 24, Intel's market share in the GPU market is actually zero.
Okay.
They don't represent a full percentage existing inside the GPU market. This is an important distinction. Okay. Truly important distinction. The Steam hardware survey sort of backs that we don't have Intel inside of the GPU market, especially in gaming. And that's really interesting here because they've tried. They've made a gaming GPU. They've already made one, and now they've made a second one. And the second go around is incredibly good. Truly a monster.
And I do remember we talked about this. So basically, kind of the gist of what you were saying is, why in the world would someone spend, um,
And I have it all pulled up here.
yeah, I mean,
So
I guess we can get into that, but I do remember vividly, like that the Intel GPU that you would was is significantly cheaper, but significantly better than
so
like.
these are its two competitors, is the 4060 Ti and the 7700 XT.
Okay, so
And the big deal here
for all
is
the viewers out here, so RTX, that's Nvidia.
yes, RTX is NVIDIA, RX is Radeon graphics, and
Okay,
that's AMD's thing.
and that's AMD, and then so ARC is
Is the Intel
it's
Intel
Intel.
Arc?
Okay, got it. Just, I mean, I had to refresh myself, but I'm sure a lot of people who are going to be listening and watching this don't wouldn't know that. So okay,
Okay.
got it.
Big deal here for this is 12 gigabytes of VRAM.
Okay,
Okay, super big deal here. And I know that means nothing to a lot of people. VRAM here, big deal. It allows you to essentially future-proof your PC. I can play newer games coming out and know pretty damn sure that I have enough power in the graphics card and enough storage inside of the graphics card itself to output the frames that I need.
okay. And oh yeah,
Important
by
here.
the way, gang, he's a big gamer, obviously. So
Yeah,
he knows what he's talking
I'm okay.
about.
I think I'm at
What's
least
your
well
favorite game?
versed.
What's your favorite game to play?
RuneScape, World of Warcraft. I really like MMOs.
What is MMO stand for again?
Massive multiplayer online. They're just
Okay.
they're games you play with friends online.
Okay. See, I'm more of a I think I told you this, campaign kind of single
Mm.
player thing. I'm like, when I play Call of Duty, I play the campaigns and stuff, because if I go play online, I'm getting murked by 10-year-olds talking
I'm
shit.
that 12-year-old that kills you.
Yeah, exactly, right. But actually, one of the games I've been playing the most, which I don't play a lot of games, but I mean, this one got me just absolutely hooked, is Starfield. Starfield is fucking, it's like GTA, but it's like, but it's like the universe, it's wild. So if you haven't played Starfield, fam, go check it out. It's on Xbox Game Pass. It's wild. So anyways, back to what we were talking about.
All right. So this is where it sits in Cyberpunk. Okay. Keep that in mind. It wasn't. This is a budget GPU. This is not meant to destroy anything. Okay. Realistically, this thing competes with the 4060 regular.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and it competes with its big brother up here. pretty consistently. And Cyberpunk, what we would describe as a particularly aggressive game against GPUs. And then let's go look at Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that's
Oh,
running on an entirely different engine.
another one of my favorite games of all time is Red Dead Redemption 2. And just while you said Cyberpunk, I bought it in 2020 when it first came out, and it was such a disaster. And I haven't played it since. I still own it, and you told me the other night I should probably try playing it again because they've made so many
A
changes.
lot better now. They fixed so much stuff.
Okay,
The big deal here is this is the Vulcan. This is Vulcan. This is AMD's territory.
okay,
Where this was DLSS, all the fancy shit. This is ray trace. Cyberpunk is an RTX game. It's really good on NVIDIA cards.
okay.
It really likes them.
What about
And then Red Dead
Starfield?
Redemption, Vulcan. I don't know if it's in here. I don't know if they check
Oh, that's a
Starfield.
video. Oh, that's a YouTube video. Okay,
That's a video.
gotcha.
Yeah, I
That's
just paused
a
the video at
I
different
think
times.
that's a Bethesda production game, I believe. Yeah, Starfield.
I'm not sure what
It
I'm not
is.
sure what they're
It
using.
is. I don't know
This
why I
is
said I
Vulcan.
think. Okay, got it.
This is Vulcan. This is an entirely different it's entirely different system and how the frames are generated, essentially. And this is AMD's territory. These are two territories where we expect a budget GPU to lose. Red Dead Redemption is not particularly easy on any card. Cyberpunk's not particularly easy on any card, but we expect Nvidia to destroy just about everybody in Cyberpunk, and we expect Red Dead Redemption to be AMD's territory.
S-
Vulkan is AMD's actual system.
So
Like this is
I have a M1 Mac, right? And I don't know
yeah.
how all this performs as far as like, their
I'm
silicon
sure it does
chip.
great. It's a Mac, generally
Yeah,
speaking.
no,
They
it
run.
looks great. I
It's
mean, I'm curious because they don't have it on here as a comparison.
because we wouldn't really be looking at that. That's not what this is about.
I know.
But
I'm just
we see
kidding.
how this is pretty high up there. This is the ARC GPUs. And one of the big deals here is we see this was the previous high tier version. It has 16 gigs of VRAM, producing 73 FPS. That's its 1% low. So, like, every once in a while, you get that. Every 100 seconds, you expect a
73
73 FPS.
frames per second, right?
Yeah. Our
Okay.
uplift here
That's such a
is all the
random
way to
number. I thought it went by like 30, 60, 90, 180, whatever.
you'd love it too, but that's not how that functions. So
Okay.
this is just a raw number and output. We did this when we did the when I showed you how it benchmarks. We did a very similar benchmark the way here,
Yeah.
where we're
Yeah.
just running a really intense segment of the game. And
Got it.
so we see a massive generational uplift from 73 frames a second on its 1% lows to 92. This is incredibly big. That's a large generational uplift.
Okay.
And it means that they sort of got it together. For the first time in a long time, they have it together. And this is a big deal because I can't get this card anymore. It's sold out already. It's been sold out.
And when did it release?
Uh, math. Like I think it was released on December 12th. Is I can't buy this card
Oh,
right
so
now.
it's brand spanking new.
Yeah, this is a brand new card in the industry, brand new. Okay, so let's look. This is what I can get this card for today, and then we're gonna go to what it competes with. This is $250 card. It competes with a $500 card on sale and a $600 card.
And so hold on. Okay, so that's the AMD, and the one you shared before was the Nvidia.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow. So I guess the
yeah.
question
These
is, why would anybody,
yeah.
buy those more expensive cards when you could just buy this Intel one that's
And keep in mind, a 4060 is a great card. Truly a great card. There is nothing wrong with a 4060. It's just overpriced.
right,
There's nothing wrong with an RTX 7700 XT. Perfectly fine. Overpriced.
right, exactly. And then the Intel one is just as good or better, but much cheaper, and obviously it's sold
And it's
out.
a little behind. You
Oh,
obviously
I
take a
see.
hit.
Okay, so it's a little
You
less,
obviously take a hit.
but I
But
mean, it's very close.
yeah, like, are you gonna complain? Damn thing's a
I
monster.
mean, I probably wouldn't. Me personally, I don't think I would know the difference at all.
The general public will not know the difference between 70 FPS and 120.
Gotcha.
Only the best players in the world at Counter Strike can tell the difference between 240 and 500.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be me.
Yeah, so like realistically, and again, you get a good gaming experience at 45 FPS. And I know I'm going to get roasted for that one. Generally speaking, you can play just about any game fine at 45 FPS.
45
It's not going to be
FPS.
the
Okay.
best, not going to be the best looking game ever. You really want 60, but like you play games at 45 FPS, it's fine, perfectly acceptable. Nothing wrong with that.
I wouldn't be able to tell the
Again,
difference. That's for sure.
yeah, you would. You could definitely tell, but like I hate to be like this. Most people aren't made of money. And that's a
Yeah,
trade-off
that
you
is
make
true.
is you spend $250 on your graphics card because that's what you have to spend.
Right. Right. I get it. I get
And
it.
okay,
And I think that
interesting
whoever's going to watch this and listen is going to get it. Hopefully.
interesting here. Third quarter revenue for Intel, 13.3 billion. Okay. It's right off their website. This is a full press release, right? And then they don't even talk about their graphics division at this point. That is how fucking far behind. They know they are hemorrhaging money on their graphics division here.
Well, it definitely portrays in their stock price. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, they know they're hemorrhaging money. Okay, and we're back to what I say is like they have no market share, zero.
Wow, look
Okay,
at that. That's crazy.
they
Basically
released
it's a
the
flat
previous
line
card.
until
Well, keep in
2022.
mind they haven't released a card here. They haven't
Okay.
released a card
Okay.
all the way up until Q2 2022,
Right.
and this back here we're still looking at integrated graphics, which exist on essentially all Intel CPUs that aren't really expensive. Okay, they release a card. It has some okay reviews. Like realistically, a lot of problems. Not very compatible. Generally speaking, not a good option. People have gotten rid of it.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're back to what I'm saying here. I can't buy this card right now. It is such a good deal.
Like, is there a waiting list or something or no?
It'll be back 1/3/2025.
Okay. So after New Year's. Not
Yeah,
okay.
we expect it to be back then. Like
At least
no
that's what
market
they
share
say.
whatsoever.
What website
Yeah,
is that you're trying to look at to buy it on?
that's this is Newegg. It's where most people would go to get what I would describe as regular computer parts. This is what I would describe as a normal person's. If you're looking to go buy something, generally speaking, you can get it on Newegg. All these links go straight to Newegg.
Yeah. Okay. Newegg's also a publicly traded
I
company.
think this, yeah, it just goes straight to Newegg.
Gotcha.
So, like, this is where we all link to. It's where we expect people to go buy. It has a lot of buyer protections. It's a good option for most people. So we're back to the point of we have no market share here,
Nope. I see
none,
that.
which is an interesting situation to be in when you have no market share. Okay,
Yeah.
they don't even mention it inside of their. They don't mention their graphics department inside of any of their financials here.
I wonder why that
They just
is.
they just refuse to acknowledge it. It's probably linked into the foundry losses.
Oh,
Realistically, it's probably linked into this foundry loss.
I see. That's interesting. I didn't. I mean, I own Intel. Obviously, a bunch of shares of Intel. I mean, they're on discount right now as we speak. But I don't really listen to their earnings reports and all that. At least as of late. But it kind of shocks me that they don't even mention it. That is kind of strange to me. But okay,
Yeah, and Mobileye is actually really cool. That's a side thing. Um,
what's that?
Altera is really
What
cool.
is that? Mobileye and
That's
Altera.
they're doing some AI stuff to make it possible for AI trucks.
And what's Altera?
Um, I don't really know, but I know it's really cool.
Okay.
You know how like technology gets to the point to where it's sufficiently advanced enough it might it's indistinguishable from magic? Altera is at that point for me.
Okay.
That's magic.
Okay. I hear you.
I don't understand. I don't plan to understand.
Got it. I guess
Okay,
if anybody really wants to know more about it,
we'll
look
look
it
into
just
it.
go ahead and look it up.
So they are down $1 billion year over year at this point, Q4 2024.
Yep. I do
Okay,
know that. I knew that,
yeah, they still made 13 billion, right?
which is
Where is
pretty
this?
substantial, but nothing compared to in like Nvidia, obviously because they're crazy. At least it's
Somewhere in here says that they're doing a good job to
total net
reduce their
revenue.
cost
Oh,
by
oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I just saw total net
okay.
revenue.
Yeah, net revenue is not a good indicator of whether or not your stock's going up.
No, I know that. I heard you say 13 billion.
Somewhere in here, it talks about restructuring and how they're doing their best next year to cut $10 billion in cost.
I mean, if anybody wants to look into it, just go and look at their 10K.
Yeah, none of this information is stuff you can't go grab.
Yeah, just go look up their 10K, and it's on their website. And you can
Yeah,
literally find it.
yeah. I literally pulled this from the website. Took me 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but they're looking to save 10 billion. So we're looking that next year, like if we're doing this every quarter, we have a $2 billion, a $2.25 billion uplift at this next earnings report. Great situation to be in. We're looking at their graphics department for the first time ever, genuinely shitting money. We're looking at another $1 billion there, and we're looking at a new CEO right as this all
Because
starts.
right now they recently fired their CEO. The stock loved it for a day, and then
And then it realized it doesn't have a CEO.
yeah, now they don't have a sitting CEO. So, oh man.
And
But
then the interesting part is this is a AI thing.
so
This is an
I
AI
use something
benchmark.
called Handbrake to convert my videos. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Yeah, this is essentially the Handbrake. This is
Okay, because yeah,
their whole thing. This is a test on Handbrake.
okay, yeah, because I will be using Handbrake to actually kind of convert this video when it's done.
Yeah, we are looking at a card that is $250 destroying the competition in an AI test, in an actual production test.
So that's so far
This
the
is
first time I've seen them on a chart at the top over the
yeah.
competitors.
Again, we're not trying to be the best card. We're not there is no it's not possible for something that's half the price to beat everything.
Uh,
That's not what we're asking for.
yeah,
We're asking for something half the price to make it possible for the rest of the market to play the games.
right. With with almost the same quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good enough.
yeah,
I will describe it as like I sit on top of a hardware mountain. Okay. Like most people do not sit here and have computers that have 64 gigs of RAM, have a 3080 in them, have the best. Like people don't have this shit, and I
yeah,
don't expect the average person to have it. I sit on top of a mountain.
yeah. Because you were saying that you spent 5 grand or something to build that thing, and it will like that'll last you 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, it lasts me 10 plus years. Like realistically, most people are never going to do that because,
Mm,
like, again, people barely pay rent right now.
yeah, no, that's yeah, of course. That is
But
it's a
I can
huge
see a
issue.
splurge purchase, absolute splurge purchase, $250 on a new graphics card that's actually going to make your life better.
Yeah, if you're a gamer.
You've been holding on to this for again, we go back to this. 1060 was released what, like a decade ago? We did this the other day. 1060's released, right? Yeah,
26.
2016.
Oh yeah, almost 9 years,
We're
about
closing in
9
on a
years ago.
decade,
Yeah.
and this thing controls 4% of the entire market.
That's pretty wild.
And
No,
we go back to
3%, 3.1. You looked at the wrong one.
Intel has no market share whatsoever right now. So we can see it steal 3% straight from Nvidia right now.
Yep, that's pretty
It's
wild.
not going to happen all at once,
You're
but
right.
that's a big deal here.
Yeah, and it's 10 almost 10 years old.
Yeah,
That's
we got
wild.
another 4% that I can steal here. Another this thing has a pretty damn good chance to take a lot of this market share, and it probably will.
Well, then, gang, if this is true, I don't know how much this will affect their stock price, but if that theory plays out, buy some Intel
Remember,
stock because it's at like a 10-year low right now.
let me go back to what I
I
was
just
saying
did.
earlier about Intel in general here. Is their revenue was 13 billion, and their loss, as stupid as this sounds, is 5.5 billion, 5.8 billion on their foundry, and they're making money everywhere else. They lose a little bit money in their actual overall company, but we're looking at just the graphics department alone, irrelevant of the cuts, making up the difference here.
That's yeah. Wow. And just imagine, if it really does, if they start ramping that up too.
Well, they're gonna have to.
Yeah, to survive. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then again, we're looking at AT&A technology is progressing well. Absolutely. Awarded chips funding. We're in an excellent position here to see this Intel go back to $150. I don't know how it's going to go back to $150, and I definitely don't see it happening overnight. Intel moves
No,
so slow.
yeah, Intel's one of the
But
slower movers out there, and it's trading around $20 right now. So it's got a ways to go, bro.
well, we're going to see a significant change in the gaming market. Truly a significant change. Just because we're going to see somebody else here. We have a decent card and we aren't skimping on anything. One of the big deals here is the other cards on that list are all choosing to be shit. A 4060 is a bad 4080. It's not a card on its own. It's a bad 4080.
Okay, 4080 means what does that mean? 4060, 4080, what? What does that mean? Frames? No,
No, that's the card itself.
it's just the name of the card. This is what they
Yeah, it's
call
a
it.
shitty $1,500 graphics card.
Okay,
It's the bad version of this. So you're not, when you buy it, there's a stigma attached to it. Oh, you're poor anyways. You couldn't even afford the real one.
yeah. Oh
So
my
like
god.
that's where I'm at here is like it's just a bad version of this card. So like normal people can't even afford the fuckers that they're building anyways. And then on top of it all, they're a shitty version of it. And then this thing comes out of nowhere, and it's like, yeah, this runs just fine.
Yeah. No. I mean, look, I won't be buying this because I don't need it. I don't game like that, but I know a lot, so many people do, especially who are listening to this or even in just the Bag Brigade community. So, like, this is something that they're going to want to know if they're going to be, building their own computer and looking for graphics cards. I think it's definitely valuable to know this because that's a significant savings.
And it made progress on $10 billion in cost reduction. So Q4 they'll make even more progress on it, and they're making even more money.
Yeah, I mean,
Intel
look, Intel,
is going to have
as far as the
nuts run.
stock price goes, I think it's a great buy right now for long term. Um, I will say this: you got to be a little careful though, because I am pretty bearish on the market as a whole going into 2025 at some
Yeah,
point. And if the market does turn bearish, I don't care how good Nvidia is doing. I mean, Intel, it's gonna follow the trend of the overall market. So you just have to be a little careful when you're buying right now. But if I'm wrong, um, and the market doesn't go bear mode, then Intel could pop big time.
oh yeah. And keep in mind, the other side of this is Intel's also going to make these cards for their own data centers. Like now, we don't just have AWS in the run because now we have Intel here that has a card that can compete with AWS and is likely cheaper now. So we're going to see that price come down. So Amazon doesn't make any money. AWS makes money. I don't know if anybody's ever actually looked into that.
I
Amazon is
I have.
truly
What
hemorrhaging money, and then it's just AWS holding the whole company up.
Yeah, yeah, because whenever they do their earnings, they'll, whatever their numbers come out, the stock price will either go up or down, but the AWS numbers always tend to come out um,
Getting
a
money,
little bit later than
genuinely
well, no, they tend to drop those AWS numbers like 30 minutes later, or you might even sometimes have the AWS numbers come on the conference call, which tends to be about an hour after the report drops. So I've seen Amazon shoot up, and then when the conference call with the CEO comes on and the AWS stuff, and it ends up being bad or good or whatever, it either it flip flops the stock price, whatever it's doing. So say it was bad initially, and then they have really good AWS info on the call, it'll shoot back up. So yeah, I mean, if you're playing, it's wild. So I understand what you're saying.
you see, and this is what I'm seeing here. AI PC capabilities to desktop platforms and usher in the first enthusiast desktop AI PCs. And they just made that step. This thing does great in AI. So they're
They
cutting their cost,
so
and
what
they know that they want to make like
What do they use it? What AI is? I mean, because all you hear a bunch about
You know how
Nvidia.
you go to ChatGPT?
Yes, yes.
That sends it to an AWS server where it does the calculations and then sends you back the information.
Okay.
AI on my PC, I can run ChatGPT on my computer
What do you mean
without
by
having.
that? What do
If
you?
they would let me download the language model, I could actually run Chat AI on my computer itself.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was gonna say, well, I have it on I have it on mine. What are you talking about? But I get what you mean. Like I know what you're saying.
Like the actual language model could be downloaded, and this allows people to actually make their own AIs now,
Yeah.
at not needing. The price point is so high that it doesn't make any sense to do it.
I mean, you can make. I I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos of guys that make their own AIs and stuff through even through ChatGPT. I mean, I was trying to do it myself, and I lost interest. It was just like too much stuff that I just was like, fuck this. I was like, I'll just stick with the normal thing.
Right. But I'm seeing this as Intel go up. Intel go burr here in a minute.
I agree. Unless it's bear mode in the market, as the broad
Like,
market. But yeah,
as much as like we joke that like this kind of chart doesn't really determine much of what's going on, like when these numbers are high, AMD's doing good. And when these numbers are low, AMD's doing worse.
yep. Eh,
Generally speaking, these numbers make the market, at least they represent a decent function of a way to check the market itself.
Let's see something real quick. Hold on. Oops. I want to
Go
see.
pull up the market on,
I'm gonna pull up
and of course,
SMH, which is
Nvidia.
the semiconductor. The semiconductor. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep,
Go to a daily. Let me put the moving average. So this is SMH. It's the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. The ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. For those who don't know that, looks like spaghetti. Let me turn these pivots off. So as you can see on a daily, it peaked at about 281 a share, and then it came down here in August when we had the fiasco with the yen carry trade, bounced off the 200-day, came up, rejected the 50-day moving average, came down again in September and tested the 200-day. And then it came back up above just about every moving average, and it double topped up here at 261. And it's been basically trading sideways. It's just been bouncing right off of this 200-day moving average a ton. But let's look at more specifically Nvidia. Okay, so Nvidia,
I mean, I kind of see this chart in there.
yeah, of course. So I drew fib levels on it, a fib retracement. This is the August 5th Japanese yen trade carry fiasco that no matter it didn't matter what stock it was going down.
Just went down.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see, and then it bounced from there, kind of got caught up at the 61.8 fib, came back down, rejected or bounced off the 23.6, and then kind of rode the 100-day for a little bit, and then it basically just held the 20-day moving average, kind of consolidated in here, and then broke out, and then it peaked again at 152 all-time high, 88 or 86, I don't know. And then it's come down ever since. It is now below its 50-day moving average, which happens to be the same level as the 78.6 fib. And it is now it's basically testing the 20-day moving average. So if it keeps moving down, it's going to come and test what do you call it? The 61.8 fib level, which is also where the 100-day moving average is, which is around that $129 a share. And AMD is
Should have never been worth what they said it was.
AMD.
Personally,
So AMD, the AMD. Let me get these
is that
trends.
2019 right there at the top?
No, that would have to have been 20. This is 2024.
Okay.
This was in
Why?
March. I don't know. I don't know.
AMD's not doing anything.
Well, it's obviously come down since then.
Yeah.
It is below all major moving averages on the daily, at least. And Yeah, I mean it's basically it is it's I mean it's holding it's using I mean it's at the 5-day moving average, which is it's slightly above it, but it's been below it basically for the past couple weeks. So if this thing decides to pop or move up, which I would say from a technical standpoint, it definitely looks like we've got a double bottom kind of here. So I would say maybe it will. You got you have the 20, the 50-day, the 100-day. There's your death cross though. It's a mini death cross. A 50 crossing below the 100 is not. It's a death cross, but the real death cross is like the 50 crossing the 200, which is right here. So it's got some hurdles to you know get through if it's going to get back up into these levels. But it did some. I mean, it looks like it is bouncing at this support level with this double bottom. If it does break this, oh man, I mean, now you're going to start looking at probably the next level is going to be somewhere right around about 108. After that, you're at 95, 90, yeah, 95. So whoever's in AMD, um, I mean, I would be, from a technical standpoint, I would be bullish. I'd want to go long here, but I would just be careful. Yes. And then real
Even
quick,
entering the bear market, you'd go long on it?
no, 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 I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I would be
Okay.
very cautious because if we go bear market mode, then, it doesn't matter what AMD is doing.
I
It's
wonder how
going to
much that would
follow the
cost.
trend. Now here's Intel. And this is why this chart's so interesting to me. It's obviously under every single moving average there is as well, but you see how it's using here's the support level. This is obviously now what you call triple bottom. They tend to be triple bottoms. Technically, a triple bottom is bearish. Um, a double bottom would be bullish. Let me double check this. But that doesn't always work that way. Um, But, obviously this is a pretty heavy level of support because if I put it on a weekly, I mean, look at this. We haven't the last time it was trading at these levels, right, was 10 years, just about 10 years ago. And that's why I loaded up on it because I believe that Intel is not going anywhere. And if I can grab something on discount like that, then yeah, I'm going to do it regardless. So what? If it goes lower, shit, I'll buy more. So I just don't believe it's just I don't believe it's just going to disappear. Excuse me. Obviously, it's been extremely oversold on the weekly. It's come back up a little bit. The momentum right here is now starting to shift back up to the upside on the weekly chart. Same with the daily. So technical standpoint, I think it's a good long term buy. But just use caution and do your own due diligence, people. That's all I got to say. Other than
We
that,
cannot provide financial advice.
yes, exactly. This is not financial advice. This is just what I see. Um, no, hold on. SMCI, which has been such a shit show because of all that whatever. I don't know if you heard about what happened. It was like probably a month ago or so when they got probed or not probed, but like their Ernst and Young, the accounting firm, third party like auditor, like walked away saying there was too much fraudulent information or something like that, and their stock price absolutely just tanked on this.
Just
It was,
dumped.
I think it was, yeah, it was back in like October, I think, and it just absolutely, it went from like 50 to got down to
What does
17.
Supermicro even do?
Um, okay, it's an application optimized total IT solution
So it's a
provider.
software
Yeah,
program.
it's like Nvidia, dude. They're
No, NVIDIA makes stuff.
well, okay, look. Yeah, so do they. Look, I'll read this. The company is a provider of accelerated compute platforms that are comprised of application optimized server and storage systems for a variety of markets, including enterprise data centers, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, fifth generation SG or 5G, and edge computing. Its total IT solution includes complete servers, storage systems, modular blade servers, blades, workstations, full rack scale solutions, networking, device server subsystems, server management, and security software. It also provides global support and services to help its consumers install, upgrade, and maintain their computing infrastructure, its products, categories, servers, and storage, building blocks, edge, embedded and telecom, networking and workstations and gaming products. Its servers and storage includes rack mount servers, GPU servers, twin servers, and
Supermicro does not make its own chips.
yeah, I don't know enough about it. All I know is they're somewhat involved with
They're a
the
resale company. They don't make their own
semiconductor
shit.
company. They I think Nvidia. I think they're one of Nvidia's
Sure.
biggest customers, which is
Oh
why it
yeah.
was such a big deal when this whole um, this auditing thing with fraudulent like stuff on their books came out. But it and then I mean if and then like the next day they were like everyone was saying, well, if Nvidia's one or if they're one of Nvidia's biggest customers, that's gonna absolutely hurt Nvidia. But then like a week later or so they came out and said that they did check the books and that it wasn't fraudulent. So so the stock price went back up, but obviously I mean, look, perfect technical bounce rejection off the 100-day moving average. So it's looking like it's kind of coming back down again. But who knows? Who knows? Dude, they were crazy. I mean, look how much this thing moved just in like the 2024 alone. Here's January of 2024. They were at what 33. Within like a month or two, they were at $122. Now they did do a stock split recently, a 10 for one. So this thing was trading over $1,000. It was like Nvidia before their stock split too. I mean, so it was wild. But either way, look at this just parabolic like run. I mean, Nvidia looks a little bit more like, I mean, Nvidia is parabolic, but it's not like straight up like that. Um, and AMD's looks like this. But while we're on it, let's see. I mean, look at this run Tesla's been on, guys. I know it's off topic, but I mean, look at that. Now you can't
Right.
you can't tell me that that's not sustainable, right? Or that's sustainable because it isn't. It just blasted. I mean, all due to obviously with him with Elon being involved with Trump and all that. Because this is a weekly chart, but if you look at it daily, I mean, it's still just parabolic as all hell. But you can see that it's finally starting to mellow out here, and I think it did kind of find its top. Where will it go? I do not know. Probably come down and test this 20-day moving average and see if it bounces from there. If it breaks that, I mean, you got this level right here is like a support 362, but you also have the 50-day. So just a little technical analysis from your boy Chuck Taylor over here, or Chuck Boomberg, or whatever the fuck you want to call me. But let's real quickly just look at SPY while we're at it because market is open. Um, or, on let's see on daily. So I mean, SPY obviously has been pretty wild. This was the famous Fed rug pull day that was last week or on the 18th. So, but yeah, not last week, but the Wednesday before. Anyways, it did bounce, or it did bounce kind of off this, and I thought it was going to fill this. This is the election gap, like when Trump basically won the election, its SPY just shot up. I thought we were going to fill that, and it has
It's
not.
weird that it bounced right off of it though.
Well, so look, it obviously,
I
yeah.
guess it's also support level though.
Well, so look, see this wick right here on this candle.
Yeah.
So the gap was bigger at one point. It has every time it comes down a little bit below that, it'll erase some of the gap, right? Because it was filling some of it. So at one point it was a much bigger gap. It was
It was
from
all the way up to that wick.
Yes, exactly. So it has been somewhat filled, but it's still a significant gap right there. But on an intraday standpoint, I just want to see where we're at. Look right here. Look where that calls or that puts at. It's still at 665. I sold it for like 290. Bought it for 118. So
106.
did Sid. And had we held it, I mean, I had three of them. So instead of
Make the decisions at the time with the information
yeah,
you
I
had at
know. I mean,
the
like
time.
you
No
gotta
decisions, bad decision.
yeah, I live by this term called small good decisions, and I also hate because hindsight's such a bitch. I hate looking back and seeing, oh, what I could have made, right? But it's just crazy. But on an intraday standpoint, on a 5-minute chart,
I had the time, just set a bunch of trailing stops as you go.
I see on options I don't. I don't put stop losses. Only in futures I do stop losses and stuff like that. On options I do not. Um, typically because I'm watching it. With futures, because there's time decay, I'm monitoring it pretty closely. With futures, I don't really care that much because there is no time decay. Um, but you have to use margin. There's margin requirements. It depends on what you're trading, and you definitely want to make sure you set some stops because you don't want it to go so far against you that you get margin called. So, but as you can see right here, this is perfect. Technical analysis. Let me look at a 15-minute. I mean, perfect technical analysis. I mean, these pivot points you can see right here. It tried to bounce here, broke, came back up, and obviously this is VWAP, volume weighted average price, which is basically where buyers and sellers agree that it's a fair price. That's basically what that means. And it went and basically tapped it and came right back down. So that is just typical standard. Um, technical analysis on an intraday standpoint. Anyways, um, so let me get back to us. So, okay, what did you cover everything? I feel like we talked about more last time. I can't remember.
Yeah, we rambled for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. And trust me, I was getting
I
so
actually had this put together this time.
yeah, well, I obviously because we were just talking, and then I was like, I'm gonna start recording this. And then when I listened to it, your volume was way too loud, and I could not even as much because I'm a sound engineer, and I put it into my DAW, my digital audio workstation, to try my hardest, like as hard as I
It's
could,
not gonna
to
fix it.
get your voice either lower or mine higher, and I couldn't do it. It would blow people's speakers out. You know what I mean? So I just said, you know what, let's just redo this thing. So but no, I mean, this is interesting stuff because as much as like I'm not much of a gamer, I do play like, your Red Dead Redemptions, your GTAs, your Starfield, your Call of Duty campaigns, stuff like that. But this is going to be highly, I think, informative for most of the listeners, and also for the people in the community. When I say the community, I
Here's
mean
the
the
list.
Discord
I'm gonna go
community.
through this real quick.
Yeah, yeah,
And
go for it.
here's the list of cards it can replace. And can you add these up as we go? And pull out a calculator, just
Let me,
add these
yep,
numbers to it.
let me do that 1 second.
All right.
1 second. Calculate. There we are. All right,
All right.
let's go.
Nobody who has a 30 or 40 series cards is replacing them. Generally speaking, why would you replace it? You just bought it. Even if you got fucked on the price, why would you buy a new one? Okay, 10 series card, easy replace. We got 4% there.
Okay, so I'm on 4. Okay.
20 series card, we're looking at an easy replace, 3.5.
And I'm adding these together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got another 10 series card, another 3%.
Okay.
Now I'm ignoring some of these. I'm rounding to a reasonable
Yeah,
percentage.
yeah.
I'm trying to keep it reasonably put together.
Exactly.
1050 Ti, we got another 2%.
Okay.
1660 Super, we got another 2.5%. And then we got another 1.5% in a 1660 Ti. 1070, another 1%. 1050, we got another 1%. And then I don't really look into cards below 1% of market share.
Okay.
So what do we have in cards that we can just replace today?
Okay. So how many was that first of all? Let's see. 1, 2,
It's like
3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I'll tell you that what it is, but I don't know. I don't remember the count. But regardless, we're at about 18.5%.
so 18.5% of the market share is at direct risk from Intel right this very second.
And that's doesn't sound like a lot, fam, but it really is when you
That's what AMD keeps is 18% of the market share.
right. So imagine what that could do to them and Nvidia as well.
Well, keep in mind if they didn't replace those cards, they weren't buyers of Nvidia to start with.
Fair.
Those cards are a decade old. It's not like Nvidia was counting on them to buy anything.
Yeah, right. I mean, and they did all of Apple's chips or their processors until what 2020, 2021 when Apple said fuck it and started doing their own the M1s and
Yeah, because Nvidia was charging too much money. Nvidia's done some
well, it
really
was
shitty
Intel.
things
No,
in this
Intel was
industry.
no Intel. Like my MacBook. Air from 2019, I think, or 2020, whatever. It's still an Intel processor. But my
Oh,
M
you mean the M1 chips? Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
eventually
So
figured
I'm
it
on an
out.
M1 chip right now, which it's the difference
It's
between
fine.
the Intel on the MacBook Air and the M1 is it's like significant, like as far as like speed and just all that stuff. I can only imagine what the M4s are doing now, but I mean, I'm in no rush to buy a new one, but one of these
Yeah,
probably in the next year or so, I'll probably get a new one, a new laptop, and get whatever the
yeah,
M5 or whatever it is at that point. Maybe not. Maybe the M4. Who cares? It depends on the price. I'm an Apple guy, obviously. People, I mean, Apple has got me by the apples. I mean, I got what, two Mac Minis. I got a MacBook Air. I have an iPad, the watch, two iPhones. I mean, I couldn't switch over to an Android or a PC system at this point. Everything is just so synced together, like you know what I mean. So I'm just, and plus I don't. For me personally, Macs do it for me. I mean, I'm not the big. I'm not like a huge gamer or a coder, so Macs are perfect for what I
good
do for
question.
productivity and synchronization and just like very user friendly stuff. So I mean,
This
and with
doesn't need another plugin.
what do you mean
Does this need an extra? One second.
plug
Oh, it
in?
does. Okay.
Oh,
It
to
has a
oh,
extra 8 pin. I was like,
oh,
does this need an 8 pin?
oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't know. Like
Yeah,
when you say plug-in, sometimes I'm thinking like a digital plug-in of something. Um,
no. I was just curious because if it did need an extra 8 pin, then that would be an even better option. But it needs an 8 pin.
so that's
But
interesting.
again,
The 18.5% is at risk. That's something.
just of the cards that control more than a percentage of the market share,
Right, right. Gotcha on that.
not to mention all the other shit.
So hold on a second. I'm gonna make sure my screen is still sharing. Hold on. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Okay. Yeah, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just show everybody. Because this is so I pay for the Chat GPT Plus. I mean, you can do this without Plus, but like it's pretty cool what you can do with this thing. It's pretty awesome. I mean, like, hey Gordon, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Chuck. Not much. Just here to chat. How's your day going?
That's going well. I'm actually sitting here running a podcast with my boy Money Man Sid. We're talking about GPUs and Intel versus AMD and Nvidia, and how basically Intel is potentially going to be putting about 18.5% of the market for a specific part of the market at risk against Nvidia and AMD. And they're so undervalued on their stock price right now. Anyways, what are your thoughts on that, Gecko?
That sounds like an interesting discussion. Here are some key points to consider. Market position. Nvidia and AMD have been dominating in GPUs, especially with their advancements in AI and gaming. Intel's position, while Intel has been lagging behind in GPUs, they might be able to leverage their overall market strength and innovation to gain traction. Valuation. If Intel's indeed undervalued, there might be potential for growth, especially if they can capture a larger share of the GPU market. Competition. Nvidia and AMD have strong footholds, so Intel will need a solid strategy to compete effectively. Do you see Intel making significant moves in this space soon?
I do. Sid, what do you think?
Oh,
Hey,
100%.
Yeah,
Chuck.
yeah. Sid says 100% that yes.
That's great to hear. If Sid is confident, then Intel might indeed be positioned to make some waves in the GPU market. It's always interesting to watch how these dynamics play out. Let me know if you need any specific insights or details for your podcast.
You got any questions for him, Sid?
Really?
Sure thing. I'd love to hear Sid's thoughts on how he sees the competitive landscape evolving and what unique strategies Intel might employ to gain a foothold in the GPU market. Any particular innovations or partnerships he's keeping an eye on?
Well, hold on one second. You're not going to be able to hear him. If he wants to relay that to me, I'll relay it to you. Let me ask him real quick. Do you want to answer that question or no, Sid?
If Intel
No
steals
worries.
18% of
Take
the
your
market
time.
share
I'm
from
here whenever
Nvidia,
you're ready.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. Say that again.
if Intel steals 18% of the market share from Nvidia, do you think that we'll see ramifications in the stock price?
So Sid is asking if we see Intel steal 18.5% of market share from from in that market, will we see ramifications with AMD and Nvidia?
Absolutely. If Intel manages to capture 18.5% of the market, it could definitely impact both Nvidia and AMD. Here are a few potential ramifications. Pricing pressure. Increased competition might lead to pricing adjustments, potentially benefiting consumers but impacting margins for all three companies. Innovation race. Both Nvidia and AMD may accelerate their innovation cycles to maintain their competitive edge. Strategic shifts. They might shift their strategies, either by targeting different market segments or enhancing their partnerships and ecosystems. It'll be interesting to see how this potential market shift unfolds.
Great, that's perfect. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further insights, just let me know.
Will do. Thanks, Gecko. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Anytime, Chuck. Talk to you later. Have a great day.
All right.
You know, I didn't think about this because we didn't put a number on this preemptively. Okay. Apparently, all of the 2019 GPU sales total represent $274 billion. Okay.
Two
Realistically,
hundred and $74 billion. Okay, gotcha.
gaming will represent approximately 12% of that market.
Okay, so hold on a second. Do those numbers again. So what was it?
Okay. $274 billion of graphics cards.
274,
Oh, that's for 2029. Sorry, brain. 2024, $65 billion in graphics cards got sold.
0.00000. And you said 12%?
Yeah, realistically, gaming can only represent about 12. I'm not going to sit here and say gaming drives the market because it simply doesn't.
So that's 7.8 billion. I mean, sorry, 7.8 million. If I did that right. 2, 3.
Billion. It'd be in billions.
Wait, hold on a second. Did I do that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I did 65 billion times 12%. That gave me 7.8 million.
65 billion here.
65. So
65
2, 3,
billion dollars times
0.12.
0.12.
I got
7.8 billion.
no 7.8 million.
How do you get a million out of a billion?
Hold on a second.
10%
Am I
of
hand
would be 6.
wait. So 65, 650, 65 or 6,500, 65,000, 650,000, 6.5 million, 65 million, 650 million, 6. Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't.
So we're looking at
Sorry about that, guys.
approximately
That shows you how smart I am.
$7.8 billion in the GPU markets for gaming, realistically. I'm not going to sit here and say something stupid like it controls the market. It doesn't. But if they get 18% of that, we're looking at $1.4 billion in revenue for just that card alone.
And that's impressive.
And
That's
almost all
impressive.
graphics card sales are driven at the start of the life cycle.
Oh, you mean like right when they drop?
Right when they're released, you'll have the most sales. From there, you'll have people that pick them up here and there.
Okay, gotcha.
And then that becomes price to performance, which again, ridiculously good card price to performance wise.
Right. That's the most important thing to take from this entire episode, people, is that obviously it's not going to be as good as that Nvidia one that's slightly below, but the price difference is astronomical, and so you got to ask yourself, why not? Because that's what I always say. I don't ask why. I say, why the fuck not? So that's good stuff, bro. Good stuff. We're almost done with 2024. What a year this has fucking been. I'll tell you what. Jesus, I can't wait for 2025. Oh man.
I cannot wait for this to just be a list of computers that have the new Intel GPUs in them.
And what do you?
Like this is
How long do you
so
think
this
it'll
is
take for
just
that to potentially happen?
oh, this will be January, February.
Oh, that soon.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like, look, you know how I was talking about this the other day that like the average price people are looking for is about $1,000 for a PC.
Mm-hmm.
This is me just hitting desktop PCs. The price point's $1,000.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, that's
There's some
like
ones in
Apple.
there
That's
that are
where
more.
like Apple can. Well, Apple's actually more expensive if you think about
Yeah, but like you see what I'm talking about. Like if you if they're putting realistically, look at this one. They have a 4070 in it.
it. Okay.
They have an $1,100 graphics card in the bitch.
But it's still priced. The whole thing's still priced
Yeah,
around. So how's that? How the
that tells you
wait?
how
How the
much of that
fuck is
is the
that
graphics card.
even? Oh, okay. So that okay. That makes more
Of
sense.
course,
I
they
was
have a
like,
deal.
well, yeah, I
Of
get
course,
it.
they have a deal with them, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. I get
that tells you how much of that's driven by the graphic. Oh, that is on sale. That's why. This is $1,800. They are that panicking about this graphics card. Is they're taking 30% off these things. Also, if you're looking to buy one for your kid, it's an excellent option right here.
it. Okay, I'll send me that link and I'll drop it in the description when I drop the video.
Yeah,
Oh man,
excellent option.
cool. So what else, man? Anything else you want to discuss about
No,
this?
it's just the ridiculousness of how much this is going to drive a fundamental shift. It's always been a two-horse race, and now we have another horse in the race.
Yep, I agree. I mean, yeah, and like, look, Intel's been so far behind, and look, it's this could be a pivotal point for them. I mean, big time. So I'm telling you, not to sound like a broken record, but this will affect their stock price in a very positive way if this goes the way that we're looking at it. So,
Yeah, Intel currently represents 0% of the gaming market.
I mean,
Zero.
you can only go up from there, right?
Yeah, and now we have what people think is one of the best cards created in this generation.
Interesting stuff, man. Again, I'm not very versed. Like I'm learning just as much as anybody who's probably that is listening to this is as well. So I appreciate that. And before we end this, just wanted to kind of since I'm sure y'all have seen this in all the other
Boondoggle.
episodes, but here is if you want to become a part of the Bag Brigade, if you are interested in trading and learning, want to learn the financial markets, we do have a community. Obviously, I'll put all the links, but this is just a quick, brief look at what it is. I'll just run through everything very quickly. Open everything up so I can explain it. And then we'll basically be done for this episode. I might get one more podcast in before the end of the year, or this could potentially be the last one. So starting from the top, that's just your welcome screen. We have our announcements page, testimonials. If you have an issue, you can create a ticket, and one of the mods or myself will help you out. Here's our server index, disclaimers, how to upgrade to, um, upgrade to a different tier. Each tier gives you a little bit more access to different things. Um, right here, basically. And we do it through Patreon and WAP.com. And there is two tiers. You have our OG tier, which is the tier 2. It's $14.99 a month. And then we have tier 1, which is Pirates. That's $9.99 a month. The only difference between the two is I'll get to that, is, well, here, I'll show you right now. So these are all of our analysts, trade alerts. This is obviously mine. And these are the trades that actually I was talking about earlier that me and Sid took, and we sold a little too early, but whatever. This is the future trade I took. These are just analyst alerts. It's right here. But what you don't get, or what you get with tier 2, is you get the algo alerts, right? So these are all algo alerts that are automatically posted. And like, for instance, possible long opportunity on SPY. Tells you it's a day trade. It's on a 5-minute time frame. It gives you your entry point. It says it needs to hold 601.84, and then it gives you your take profits areas, right? And then it also gives you a stop loss where you should get out. You can actually click on it and you can see it visually. And obviously that did not play out. So it actually signaled, this is an old signal anyway. What the hell? something's not right. Anyways, what I'm getting at is you get access to this and also much more that I provide to certain people in certain channels. I have this dashboard where I can provide information such as some of these same stock alerts that I just showed you, but they're not limited to just the ones that we just saw. It basically goes over all of them. See, look, the market's obviously really red today. Everything's short. Same thing though. Like if I click this, boom, it's going to bring that chart up. You can see it. So I'll post that stuff for them. I'll post, top trending contract stuff for the OG, the tier 2 people, like what the most top 10 trending contracts are. You can kind of see all this data. It's really good information. I mean, it's kind of technical stuff. You have to really understand the markets and stuff to understand what some of this stuff means. But, you know, 0-day option flow, this thing's crazy. I mean, this thing's going to be just moving really fast because well, usually it does. It's just constantly people just adding, like buying calls and options. But anyways, back to see, it's moving right now. Back to this. So, and then we have our market reports. These are auto posted. Our economic data, calendar events that we pay attention to. Auto posted. I post them in there, and then obviously earning calendars, auto post, and then we have our market chat where people just kind of post whatever they want. We have threads that I create mostly just about certain things, so it doesn't clutter the chat. Then we have just kind of like another chat room, which is mostly just for talking about whatever you want. It's technical analysis channels and crypto, futures, penny stocks, small account builder, which I'm still working on. That's no one can really see that but me right now. We have
What do you consider the small account?
so I'll show okay, so I where is it? Is it in hidden channels? Hold on. Maybe it didn't put in there. Well, so I got to find the photo of it, but basically, I at one point started an account on a new brokerage with just $50, and I basically turned it into about $2,500 in about 2 weeks, in about 6 or 7 trades. That's what a small account builder is. Like there's a strategy to it. Okay. Cause like if you only have $50, you have to YOLO that whole $50 into like, a really cheap out of the money option, probably a 0-day expiration. You know what I mean? And if you fuck up, you got to start over. But if you can do it right and you can double up or even maybe triple up, well, now you have $150 and that gives you a little bit more cushion to make more decisions, and then you can continuously build. And so I've done it multiple times, and that was a big selling point on getting people into the server. But I just haven't had the time to really focus on that as of late. But for 2025, I'm definitely going to, and that's a huge return. And that, I mean, when people see, because a lot of the people in the server are very young and they don't have a lot of money to play with, so when they saw that, I mean, that definitely drove, uh, you know, a decent amount of movement towards this community. We have our wall of gains where people post their wins, and this goes back to probably 2021. No, I don't even know. And then we obviously have our wall of pains that a lot of people don't like to post in, but I mean, I do. I'll post my losses. I don't care. Yeah, I like to be transparent and that's another big selling point. Now, someone said it in one of the testimonials that was a big thing that for them that they like, that not only do we post our gains but we also share our losses, because guess what, people, in this game, especially the options game, you're gonna lose some money. It's just you got to understand how to manage risk. Okay, if you can try and win every week, make every week's green, then that's good. I mean, you can take losses here and there. Hang on. He said, so is it $8 now? Hold on. Yep, almost at 9,
Me.
Sid.
Fuck
Jesus.
me.
Wow. Dude,
Oh,
I had 3 contracts. So let's see, I spent a total of 118. I spent like $360. Let me just do this math real quick. 880 minus 360. I mean, I'd be at 500. Wait. Oh, times 3. 520 times 3. I'd be up almost $1,600 right now. Or
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's craziness.
Rip, but also if you make decisions at the time of the
I know, I
appreciation,
know, I know. Look, it hindsight's
right?
I hate it. I
I'm
hate
just gonna
it.
choose to ignore it. I look
But
down, I'm like, damn it, stop showing it to me.
just to finish real quick, I do, and this is for any everybody can see this if you're in the server. This is just the education section that I've kind of put together for chart patterns, candlestick patterns, you know, common mistakes like when trading, options basics, you know, your option Greeks, option strategies, um, you know, psychology of trading, risk management, supply and demand, support and resistance, which I need to finish that one, and then like terminology, like what some of these things I've actually been talking about actually mean. And then we quickly have our non-market stuff, like we have a little casino where you can play blackjack. Like I can do this. Oops, I can do this. Get. Oh no, it's work. Sorry, work. It's gonna give me some money to play with, and I can also do crime. This is either gonna I'm either gonna make some money off of this or I'm gonna lose money. Let's see. Nice. So now I have like what 300 something chips. So my balance is 300 and oh, I have to withdraw some from my bank. Cool. Now I can do this blackjack and I can do a $150 bet. Okay, I got 17 dealers showing two. I'm gonna stand. Boom. I just want to say, anyways, that's just for fun. The roast room. Okay, so this is kind of bad. There's a bot now. I have him completely put in a cage and timeout because he'll come he'll come out and start talking shit in any channel. But this is a dedicated channel for it. This bot is so funny, bro. It's I don't know how I found it, but you'll say something and he'll just rip you apart. It's great. I mean, people think it's hilarious. So there's that, and then we have the Bag of Great podcast where the episodes get posted, and then we have since I'm a musician myself and some of the other guys in the server are we just post a bunch of stuff that either we make or that we like, and that basically is it. So if you're interested, obviously all the links will be in the description and all that stuff below in the video and on the Spotify and Apple podcast. But other than that, SPY is getting absolutely crushed, down 1.63% last Friday, last trading day, or last Friday trading day of the year. I mean, I you know doesn't shock me. Um, but yeah, 850 at the contract's at right now. Wow.
Don't tell me.
I
Just don't
know,
tell
I
me.
know, I know, I
I
know.
looked and I'm just like, I hit it now. I just, it's hidden. I'm not gonna look
I
again.
hit it now. I hit it now. Other than that, though, I mean, that's really yeah. The CNBC says Dow drops 500 points, big tech stocks drag Nasdaq down 2%. Yeah, OpenAI says it needs more capital than we'd imagine as it lays out for profit plan.
Well, it needed more capital than it could imagine because it has to buy Nvidia cards.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else, to say. Again, like this is the first time I've actually done freaking podcast it in the morning like this, or at least it's what time is it now?
11.
11:15 Central. Hold on, let me get me out. But yeah, man, um, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm gonna be some big changes, gang, coming for 2025 for the community, for the podcast. So let's if you want to be a part of the gang, let's make 2025 great because and you know we're gonna do. I got a lot of special things coming, especially if you're a trader, like some new algo stuff, lots of good info, like data stuff that a lot of other places they may have it, but they don't. They charge significantly more than I'm charging for access to it. I mean, look, $10 a month. Are you kidding me? So it's totally worth it, and it's a great community, and it's only going to get better. I mean, Sid just joined it. When did you join it? Like 6 months ago or something like that. I don't remember, but
6 months, but I've only really been active for like
yeah,
two.
he just started getting real more active. But yeah, I mean, look, we basically, it's really me. I mean, I do have analysts, but the whole goal is to teach people how, how to do this kind of stuff, not just make quick money. And that's what a lot of people think. It's not doesn't work that way. I mean, you can, it is possible, but the whole point of what I'm trying to do is educate people on how to kind of navigate the financial markets and somehow create a passive income to hopefully eventually achieve financial freedom, because that's what we all want to do. And so that's what I do. I mean, you just come check it out. You get a free trial, 7-day trial anyway. So I'll leave it at that. I don't have anything else really to say, man. I mean, now that I still got the whole day ahead of me. Normally this is night, and I'm done going to bed or something. So, yeah. Sid, you got anything to say as we sign off like last time?
Until go burr, I've stopped trying to time the markets and do all that myself, and I've done a lot better just listening to the Bag Brigade. A lot of info, learned a lot. I now have an algorithm I want to make that just buys things when they touch the 200-day average.
Dude, well, when you get that figured out, let me know, because I will. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, was I the one who kind of showed you that?
Yeah, I'm like, I
The
just want to
200
double
day
check
and the
that I'm making it
200
work.
week. Remember, I sent you something last night. I was like, look at it, the 200 week. I was like, look, see, this is the most important. The 200 week is by far from a long term standpoint. The 200 week moving average is like the line in the sand.
Yeah, make the bot volatile.
I think the S&P 500 has only in recent time has only dropped below its 200 week moving average. It was in the dot-com bubble and in 2008, and it did briefly, very briefly, in COVID. Other than that, no, hasn't happened. Even in the 2022 bear market, it hit it and it bounced off of it. So, but the 200 day is just as important. It's just a little bit more of less of it. You're not zoomed so far out. But yeah, if you can figure that
Yeah,
out, bro, that's
just make a robot, give it $1,000 every time something touches it, just buys.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Other than that, Bag Brigade fam, thanks for tuning in. This is a very interesting episode. I know it's a little different than what we normally talk about, but hey, like I said, we're making some changes in 2025. So um, I'm just going to leave it with what I normally leave it as. The Tiz or Chuck Bloomberg, Chuck Taylor, whatever, he doesn't ask why. He asks why not? Because why the fuck not? I'm not going to do the other one. I've done it too many fucking times. If you can't come in or come on or thing, like, that's over. Not doing it anymore. I'll find something new. But yeah, man. Other than that, dude, I appreciate the time, Sid. I'm gonna be obviously on Discord, maybe even find a trade here and there if I can today. So
All right, we'll keep at it.
all
I
right,
appreciate
brother.
you. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys later.
Yeah, we'll do another one. Man. Hopefully we'll do another one and actually have another guest as well join us as well. So those are always a lot of fun. So, and we'll get my co-host Too Woke to Go Broke on the next one. So all right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Chopper on the block, 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 coming through so